Hi, my name is Emma.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Ansley.
And I'm Caroline, and we are reporting live for L'Oreal for the future. So, a little background on L'Oreal and the industry. They are a world leader in beauty products and hygiene products, including skincare, makeup, hair care, and fragrances. They were established in Paris in 1909, and the US headquarters is in New York City. They have over 7 billion products worldwide and own 37 global beauty brands, including Garnier and Essie, which are extremely popular here in the US. They are present in over 150 countries and hire over 90,000 employees. As far as L'Oreal supply chain on their website, they talk about how it is responsive and responsible. And starting off with their current supply chain, they have over 50,000 long-term relationships with suppliers, 42 manufacturing plants, and operations in over 150 countries in order to have close proximity to the markets. They also have 152 distribution centers as well. And within those distribution centers, we'll talk about later in the video how they have automation, they're data-driven robotics to ensure they are responsive with that demand. And then they also have a multipolar model, as they mentioned on their website, and meaning that that is strategically centralized and operationally decentralized when we talk about all of the different units they have worldwide. And they use in-house product design manufacturing at the local level, so they are able to adapt to customer expectations and local market demand. Some of the key advantages of L'Oreal's supply chain are their network planning, their strategy itself, robotics, and sustainability. And within their global presence, it allows them to reach consumers in every single country about and also have close relationships to those consumers, as we mentioned before. Their strategy, as we mentioned, is responsive to that whole supply chain and demand, and they're able to deliver 6.5 billion products annually. As for robotics, they improve flexibility and agility among all the variety of products they have. Some of the technologies they have are cobots, which are collaborative robots that work with humans, artificial intelligence, digital tools, intelligent sensors, and touchpads as well. And as far as sustainability, we'll dig deeper into this within the presentation. But some of the things they have are 3D skin printing and EpiSkin technology for product testing. And then also, as this picture is mentioning on the slides, 65% of their sites are already carbon neutral, and they use organic waste, which generates biogas to make all the power in all these manufacturing plants. And here's just a quick quote from their COO, and he is talking about one of their strengths in their operations as they're continuing to grow is their rapid demand for their products through their responsive and sustainable model. So while L'Oreal has many advantages, there are challenges that they face as a global company. First is the changing customer preferences, and this can be seen immensely through social media as it creates a volatile market with emerging and fading trends. So as you see, we see these influencers highlighting their products, and they have thousands, hundreds of thousands of likes, shares, etc., which can cause trends, like I said, and it could skew demand forecasting for L'Oreal or cause stockouts within their retail stores and online stores. Another challenge is their global presence. It's a double-edged sword in the sense that they have a lot of manufacturing plants located across the seas in Europe and not as many in North America. And with that, they may need to focus on harnessing more of their lesser present areas and regions. In addition to being a global firm, they must navigate tariffs and regulations, especially when transporting products across borders. And recently, as of 2021, there was an issue in the US specifically with port congestions and rising freights with L'Oreal, and they had to navigate that ambiguity. Lastly, there's diversity of products that L'Oreal has, but it also can create challenges in the sense that they will have to transport products that have different temperature requirements, and they won't be able to transport all of their products in bulk or in mass because they have these different requirements.
So as I mentioned, their supplier relationships are very strong when they have over 50,000 suppliers globally, and we listed a few on this graphic on the screen. And their supplier diversification process is growing very rapidly. They want to see a bunch of diverse suppliers in order to increase their diversity within all the products they have. And having this large supply base is allowing them to receive the best price and quality when buying inventory due to a large variety of options.
Yes, and some difficulties faced with supplier relations is just simply maintaining the sheer number of 50,000 suppliers and maintaining a strong relationship with them. It could be difficult to maintain organization and streamlining goals clearly with all of these suppliers. And as a result, there could be quality control issues that they need to focus on maintaining with their suppliers. I am now passing it off to Taylor live in the warehouse.
Hi, y'all, coming at you live from a L'Oreal distribution center. So looking forward into the future of what L'Oreal supply chain will really look like, they're definitely prioritizing continuous investment in analytics to enable real-time decision execution, as well as supplier engagement and collaboration across their supply chain ecosystem. Another program that they're pushing is accelerating their solidarity sourcing program in the supply chain. So this is a unique inclusive purchasing program that L'Oreal created, and they reach out to vulnerable communities in order to help provide them durable access to work and income to their community members. So they already have over 710 suppliers involved in this program, but looking forward to 2030, they want to reach 160,000 beneficiaries. There's also growing use of data and this creation of demand sensing, this anticipated planning program that L'Oreal has enabled, which we'll touch on next. And they're kind of connected to this. They're moving towards technology augmented logistics with this increased use of data. For example, in terms of the warehouse, they're trying to implement more connected inventory management and an agile system of temporary distribution centers as well to help deal with these peaks of demand that they currently aren't able to meet with their current capacity. They also are initiating more support systems for employees who are dedicated to the industry and supply chain of the future through a technology incubator program, which helps educate their employees and promote innovation. In terms of demand sensing, like I mentioned on the last slide, they've initiated this beauty tech program, which reinvents demand forecasting process, kind of implementing more data and consumer insights and machine learning, which is obviously a key enabler of this digital transformation of L'Oreal's supply chain. So they built this platform with Google, and it compiles a bunch of relevant data and utilizes algorithms and AI to create more detailed and reliable sales forecasts than what L'Oreal is currently implementing. So as of now, it's being rolled out at a group level using an agile methodology. But obviously going forward, this is something they plan on implementing further. And there's huge expectations for this. Looking forward for improving sales forecast accuracy, product availability, optimizing inventory, reducing obsoletes, improving how to steer their business, and lastly, identifying more quickly being able to quickly identify any changes in trends and low signs of sales acceleration. Lastly, in terms of L'Oreal's sustainable development goals for 2030, these definitely connect to what their supply chain will look like going forward, as they've allocated 180 million in total into these initiatives. They've broken them down into 4 categories: fighting climate change, managing water sustainability, respecting biodiversity, and preserving natural resources. Example of one of their initiatives is they created a circular innovation fund, which they've attributed 50 million to, that will finance innovative projects in the field of recycling and the management of plastic waste, something that's obviously highly connected to their industry. They've also turned to alternative transportation methods, For long term, they're trying to implement sea and rail freight in terms of like the last mile transportation. They're trying to use more electric vehicles, liquefied natural gas powered vehicles, and even bicycles. Now, an example of some specific targets and how they're really connected to the supply chain are like for climate change. By 2030, they want their strategic suppliers to reduce their direct emissions by 50% compared to 2016. So that's how, for example, suppliers are connected. They also want to reach 100% renewable energy for all their sites. So this is just kind of a tangible application of how their goals are connected to what their supply chain will look like in the future.
All right, hello everyone. I am a consultant for L'Oreal. My name is Ansley, and I'm gonna be talking about our next steps and recommendations that we have for L'Oreal for the future. So to start off, our first recommendation is that we think that they need to embrace sustainable partnerships. So in order to do this, they need to strengthen their partnerships with local suppliers, logistic providers, technology partners, and anyone who's committed to sustainability specifically. They also need to implement ethical sourcing and into all of their production methods, as well as all across all of their practices in the supply chain network. And this would reduce their overall environmental impact and any pollutants that they're emitting into the environment. Additionally, they need to source from more ethical companies in order to line up with the sustainability as well, and use more ethical production methods as well as transporting methods. And this in turn would accelerate solidarity sourcing as well as reduce greenhouse gas emissions and carbons into the environment. Our next recommendation is that they need to use we need to use more advanced digital integration, such as AI or leveraging the Internet of Things and real-time monitoring. So by doing these in the supply chain, they'll be able to do everything faster, more efficiently, and use enhanced AI technology to make everything line up with their goals and make their supply chain sufficiently more efficient. And then another recommendation we have is that they need to enhance supply chain visibility and resilience. And by implementing advanced supply chain visibility tools, they'll be able to track products in real time as well as optimize inventory management. So they'll be able to see how everything's going in a real current time view rather than having to spectate it from or being off on like proper timing. They also need to prioritize strategies for resilience in the supply chain in order to minimize the risks as well as make it more agile and be able to respond to market changes and disruptions. So if something were to happen, they'd quickly be able to get to that problem, attack it head on, and go to the next thing. And so to continue, some more steps recommendations that we have is first to empower a culture of innovation. So by doing this, they need to provide more training programs that are tailored to the specific supply chain needs of L'Oreal. Also, they need to invest in upskilling these specific training programs, so making them for more skilled workers and people that specifically would be doing these tasks and tailoring them to their current workforce. And they also need to monitor key performance indicators as well to empower their current innovation. And so then another recommendation we have is they need to focus on flexibility and adaptability. And by doing this, they'll be able to make their product lines a lot faster, as well as allowing for shifts in product offerings. And so when they do this, like if something were to change the supply chain, or if they were to have too many products or not enough products of some sort, by enhancing their flexibility, they'll be prepared for these changes and they'll be able to adapt to them accordingly. And also, by doing this, they should be able to develop their agile supply chain processes that are focused on the market changes so they can be prepared in advance rather than just moving with the times. And so this will just allow them to adapt to it, any fluctuations or disruptions in the demand. And finally, so this relates back to all of them. They just need to continue to have improvements and innovation just every day-to-day basis. Like they just need to constantly be keeping up with the feedback and monitoring key performance indicators, and as well as implementing feedback loops. So they need to get customer support and respond to their customers with what their needs, so that they're able to tailor the supply chain needs and be on top of things and continuously improving and becoming better as a company overall.
Hey everyone, it's Emma, and I am here live at one of our retail stores. I'm a retail associate, so I picked 3 different products off of our sales floor, and I'm going to tell you where they were manufactured. All of these products are manufactured, since I am in the state of Georgia, they're all going to be manufactured around the North American region, starting off with the very first ever pure shampoo. And this was manufactured in the United States, and its ingredients are from Canada. And then Sierra V, the hydrating facial cleanser. This was from Mexico. And lastly, our Garnier micellar cleansing water was manufactured in Canada. So these all show that a lot of the local markets are supporting by local and regional manufacturers.
All right, thank you all so much for watching. It's Ansley again. We hope to see you next time on L'Oreal for the Future, and hope everyone has an awesome week.